Unlock your potential in 10 minutes a day. It sounds impossible, like some magical secret, but it's grounded in science, specifically the science of your mind. Most people are stuck in a rut, repeating the same patterns year after year. Why? Because they're unknowingly trapped by their own internal programming, a deeply ingrained perspective shaped long before they were even aware of it. Change that perspective, and you change everything, sometimes dramatically, in less than 10 minutes. Are you brave enough to try? We all know the feeling. You make a resolution full of conviction only to find yourself breaking it the very next day. You'll decide to overhaul your life, wake up early, exercise, budget better, learn a new skill, and it all seems clear on paper. But something always pulls you back. An invisible force seems to be calling the shots. And guess what? That force is real. It's not some mysterious entity, but your subconscious operating on a perspective that was largely formed in childhood, a collection of beliefs, habits, and perceptions you absorbed unconsciously. This explains why you might find yourself echoing your parents' behaviors, even while vowing never to do the same. It's why hardworking, honest people can struggle financially, while others seemingly prosper effortlessly, even without fancy degrees. This was my reality. For years, I felt ordinary, undereducated, directionless, bouncing between dead-end jobs, factory work, gas stations, tire shops, the whole greasy spoon experience. It was fine until a sawmill accident took my thumb and, more significantly, my sense of purpose. My life felt frozen. But in that stillness, a yearning ignited. That's when I met a man named Raymond Douglas Stanford. He gave me a book, Think and Grow Rich. I didn't know it then, but that gesture planted a seed that would revolutionize my life. I started questioning everything. Why did some uneducated people amass fortunes, while others with impressive credentials remained stuck? Why did I feel trapped in a cycle of limitations? The answer was stark. I was programmed, like a computer running outdated software. My internal command screamed, "You're not capable. You won't amount to anything. Accept your lot in life." These weren't true, but they felt real because they were my reality, my perspective. And here's the key: you're programmed too. You've absorbed messages since childhood. Money is dirty, wealth is greedy, success is luck. These seemingly absurd notions seep in day after day, becoming internal laws you obey without question. That moment you get a brilliant idea, only to immediately dismiss it as not for me. That's not you. That's your perspective, protecting your comfort zone, resisting anything that threatens it. Not with brute force, but with doubt, fear, procrastination. How many opportunities have you missed because you were afraid of looking foolish? How many dreams have you shelved because the time wasn't right? How many times have you self-criticized, unaware that the fear wasn't even yours? Most people live lives they didn't choose, following a script written for them, falsely believing they're in control. But here's the game changer. You can rewrite that script. Just as your perspective was installed through repetition, emotion, and consistent exposure, it can be replaced, not overnight, but through small adjustments, new habits, new ideas nurtured daily, even for just 10 minutes. Why 10? Because that's enough time to engage your conscious mind before autopilot kicks in. 10 minutes of mindful observation, questioning your beliefs, affirming new patterns. That's how you start rewriting your internal code. Start by becoming aware. Observe your thoughts when you consider prosperity. What does your mind say? You don't deserve it? It's too risky? It's too late? Those thoughts are the voice of your perspective. For 3 days, track everything you say or think about money. Write it down, every judgment, every emotion. Next to each entry, ask, did this come from me or was it installed in me? You'll be surprised. You weren't born limited. You were conditioned to be. But that conditioning can be undone. I'm proof of that. So can you be? It's not what you consciously think for a few minutes that determines your outcome, but your habitual actions, repeated emotional reactions, and instinctive decisions. These are driven by perspective. I learned this the hard way. As a Toronto firefighter, I was trapped in a routine month after month, paycheck to paycheck, stressed, in debt, convinced it was normal. I felt a deep emptiness, but didn't understand why. It wasn't a lack of opportunity, it was my mindset. My perspective was one of scarcity. It whispered, "Don't dream big. You weren't born for this. This is for the wealthy, not for you." Perspective is not rational. It doesn't respond to logic. It responds to deep-seated conditioning. You might intellectually know you deserve more, that you can build a business, achieve financial freedom. But if your perspective is programmed for scarcity, every attempt to break free will be sabotaged by doubt, fear, and insecurity. You'll believe these feelings are yours when actually, it's your old programming pulling you back. Remember starting a diet and giving in on day 2, promising to save money and wondering where it went, getting excited about an idea and losing faith the next day. It's not willpower, it's programming. Your perspective dictates how you act, react, and what you deem possible, like a silent autopilot. You can change your GPS destination, but if the autopilot is set elsewhere, that's where you'll end up. Brilliant people don't always achieve brilliant results. Think of all the highly intelligent, educated, experienced individuals stuck in unfulfilling lives. And contrast that with those who overcame adversity, lacked formal education, started from nothing and thrived. I was one of them. It's not your resume that determines your destiny. It's your perspective. I had to break free, so I left the fire department. Many thought I was crazy. I was terrified. But I knew I needed to disrupt the program. It was safe but suffocating. I started a cleaning business, hardly glamorous, but my mindset had shifted. That first year, with no experience or education, I earned over $100,000, a significant amount, because I changed my paradigm, altering my decisions, actions, and results. You don't need to quit your job tomorrow. You need to understand who's in charge. Studies show that over 90% of human decisions are unconscious. Unless you change your internal program, you'll continue making the same decisions and getting the same results. You might think this doesn't apply to you, but consider how many times you've promised change and failed, sabotaged yourself, or frozen when opportunity knocked. That's your perspective in control, and it can be modified, but only if you take charge, observe your automatic thoughts, and challenge those uninvited commands. Interrupt the cycle with awareness, consciousness, and deliberate action. The power is within you, but are you willing to override autopilot and take control of your mind? That exhilarating idea that sparks your heart, only to be swiftly dismantled by your mind with, "That's crazy, what if it fails? You're not ready." It happens more often than you think, and that scary idea is often the one that could change your life. Why? Because it clashes with your existing perspective, challenging what you accept as possible. It's not the idea. It's your mental system rejecting anything outside its comfort zone. When I considered leaving my job, my inner voice screamed, "You're crazy." I had no degree, no business plan, no experience. But something insisted, "Go for it." My intuition battled years of conditioning. I didn't understand perspective then, but now I know that fear, anxiety, and the urge to quit were signals I was trying to escape the automatic system. I was thinking a why, what's a new thought that didn't fit the old mold, creating friction, deep discomfort. That discomfort, while unpleasant, signifies progress, like growing pains. Most people mistake it for a sign to stop. They kill the idea, bury the dream. I once met a man who dreamed of opening a coffee shop. He had a stable job but lacked purpose. He even had a name. He envisioned the morning aroma. But sharing his plan with his family derailed it. That won't make money. You'll lose your stability. Can you compete with big brands? He quit, not from lack of will, but fear, not his own, but the fear ingrained in his perspective. Every time you consider change, growth, something extraordinary, your perspective will resist, presenting convincing arguments, making you feel irresponsible, naive, reckless. It's a defense mechanism because stepping outside the comfort zone is perceived as a threat. How many ideas have you killed before even starting? How many projects have you abandoned because you thought you weren't capable? That wasn't true. It was your perspective keeping things the same. Every great transformation begins with an uncomfortable idea, one that seems absurd, defies logic, and makes you nervous just thinking about it. The more resistance you feel, the more likely it's exactly what you need. This doesn't mean abandoning everything, but nurturing those ideas, feeding the why, repeating, visualizing, feeling. Your subconscious accepts the new only when it's repeated with intensity and emotion. You change your body's energy, shift your frequency. Since everything vibrates, changing your frequency changes what you attract, perceive, and experience. Neuroplasticity proves the brain can create new connections at any age, with enough repetition and emotion. You can reconfigure your mind, creating new responses and habits. You choose to feed the new, not the old. When a bold idea arises, note your first reaction. If it's fear, doubt, discomfort, stop. Don't run. Breathe. Ask, is this fear real, or is my perspective protecting me from the unknown? That moment of questioning can be the turning point, planting a seed that, with daily care, transforms your life. You don't need total courage, just the first step, even if you're trembling, without guarantees. Sometimes the idea that scares you most will liberate you. Everything vibrates. It's not just a spiritual concept, it's the law of vibration. Nothing is still, not even your cells. Everything vibrates at a frequency, determining what you attract. Your subconscious perspective creates a vibrational track, keeping you aligned with certain experiences, feelings, and results. People raised in environments lacking money, security, or emotional support often repeat those patterns as adults, even unwillingly. Do you know someone, or are you that person, who says money isn't everything, but constantly worries about bills? Who claims they don't care about success but feels frustrated when others win? Who earns more but stays broke? It's not coincidence, it's vibration. Change jobs, cities, partners. If you don't change your vibration, you'll attract the same. It's like a radio dial. The frequency determines the station, regardless of location. A scarcity mindset tunes you to fear, limitation, and hostility. Opportunities seem threatening, money unreachable, success reserved for others. It's a vibrational reality, and it can be changed. Even after financial success, I sometimes had scarcity thoughts. The old programming tried to creep back in. I realized that how I feel about money is as important as how much I earn. It's not money that attracts abundance. It's your inner state, your vibration, your dominant thoughts and feelings. Princeton University studies showed that gratitude, enthusiasm, and generosity create harmonious brainwave patterns, while fear, guilt, and anger create chaotic ones, influencing your nervous system, electromagnetic field, and ultimately, your reality. To attract prosperity, don't just think positively for a few minutes and then revert to fear. Change your dominant vibration. For 10 minutes a day, sit in silence, breathe deeply, and visualize your abundant life. See the details, feel the emotion, let your body vibrate with that reality. It's recalibrating your frequency. The more you repeat, the more natural it becomes, attracting corresponding experiences. Even if you have debts or insecurities, you can choose not to vibrate in them all the time. 10 minutes won't erase challenges, but it can shift the field in which they exist. Your life reflects your operating frequency. Change the frequency, and the results inevitably change. Notice those who constantly complain. They usually have more to complain about. Notice those who are grateful. They generally have more to be grateful for. It's vibration, pattern, law. You can change your vibration with a thought, a choice, a habit, a mental image. Don't wait for everything to change to feel good. Feel good to make everything change. That's living from the inside out. Unlocking a life beyond your wildest dreams isn't about grand gestures. It's about the quiet power of consistent, small changes. Years spent guiding countless individuals, from disillusioned youth to neuroscience experts, revealed a universal truth. People mistakenly believe massive overhauls are necessary for life-altering transformation. The reality: it's a tiny tweak, a simple habit, a single moment of mindful intention repeated daily. That's where the magic happens. Most underestimate the profound impact of just 10 minutes a day. Imagine dedicating 10 minutes to cultivate a new mindset, visualize your goals, affirm your capabilities, and genuinely feel the emotion of achievement. You're shifting your vibrational frequency, breaking free from autopilot, rewriting your internal operating system. Do this daily, and your limiting beliefs will crumble. I've witnessed it countless times. The evidence is undeniable. Take one young man I know, burdened by job losses, debt, and crippling self-doubt. Yet, a flicker of hope remained, a hesitant desire to try again. He carved out 10 minutes each day, visualizing his ideal life, writing down his goals, repeating affirmations like, "I am prosperous, I am capable, I am worthy." Initially, it felt ridiculous. He persevered. Within weeks, subtle shifts emerged. An unexpected opportunity, a brilliant idea, a helping hand from a friend. In under 3 months, he'd slashed his debt, landed a new job, and, most importantly, forged a new mindset. The catalyst? A minuscule adjustment. 10 minutes daily. Many doubt this simplicity, conditioned to distrust ease, yet true power resides in simplicity. The challenge lies in unwavering persistence, in trusting the process before results materialize. You don't do it because you believe, you do it until you believe. Repetition is key. Neuroscience confirms this, highlighting the brain's capacity to forge new neural pathways through repetition and emotion. Repeating a feeling-laden thought even briefly reshapes your nervous system, reprogramming your automatic responses. As Will Smith wisely said, realism is the most common path to mediocrity. People wait for perfect conditions, unknowingly remaining trapped in the same frequency, the same patterns, the same results. Transformation doesn't arrive when everything's ideal. It starts when you embrace what you have. I challenge you. Write down a deeply desired goal, one that excites you. Then, for 21 days, dedicate 10 minutes daily to visualizing its achievement, feeling the joy, seeing the details, expressing gratitude. Don't chase immediate results. Simply observe small coincidences, new connections, ideas seemingly out of nowhere. These aren't coincidences. It's frequency alignment. A shift from the old paradigm to a new reality. The only barrier between you and your dreams is unwavering dedication to nurturing the right thoughts. Don't overhaul everything. Adjust your focus, your repetitions, your beliefs. It's not the intensity of effort, but the quality of direction that transforms lives. 10 minutes a day can set you on the right path. You deserve extraordinary. It all begins with a small adjustment. Have you ever noticed the paradoxical difficulty of receiving good things? People crave more money, love, recognition, yet hesitate, retreat, self-sabotage when it nears. Many are unaware of this self-destructive behavior, rooted in a hidden, insidious belief, "I'm not good enough." This is a deeply damaging paradigm, often masked by excessive modesty, perfectionism, procrastination, or a misguided sense of humility. I've experienced this firsthand. After initial success, my business thriving, I should have felt elated. Instead, I felt unworthy, scrutinizing my past, feeling like an imposter, perpetually expecting exposure. Subconsciously, I began to impede my growth, avoiding opportunities, doubting new ideas. My paradigm, disguised as caution, pulled me back. How often have you downplayed compliments, self-sabotaged crucial moments, or unwittingly ruined promising relationships? This is emotional programming based on unworthiness, a belief often instilled by others, parents, teachers, peers. But you can rewrite this narrative. Start by changing your self-perception. Your self-image dictates what you allow into your life. See yourself as capable, and you'll attract opportunities. Believe in your worth, and you'll cultivate positive relationships. When you change your self-perception, the world responds. People treat you with respect, doors open more easily, and coincidences multiply. Positive psychology research, like Dr. Martin Seligman's work, shows self-esteem and self-compassion are crucial for better decision-making, resilience, and a fulfilling life. This begins with self-respect, recognizing your inherent value. For 7 days, look yourself in the mirror each morning and say aloud, "I deserve the best life has to offer." It may feel strange initially, but persist. Repetition penetrates the subconscious, breaking old patterns. Whenever something positive happens, embrace it. Say internally, "Of course I deserve this." This simple affirmation re-educates your sense of worthiness. It's not arrogance, it's alignment. You weren't born to live small, to beg for attention, affection, or wealth. You were created for abundance, but this only materializes when you believe you are worthy. What you learned, you can unlearn and reprogram. It's not just about pursuing what you desire, it's about learning to receive it when it arrives. Change this and your life will flourish. It starts when you stop questioning if you deserve it and simply say, yes. This paradigm shift begins with one daily habit, one firm decision, 10 minutes of intention. This is the turning point. And if this resonates, the next step is clear. Watch the next video. Transformation happens incrementally, 1% better each day. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.